Shit talker black. Yeah, they had my son to turn around and have to come home and use the restroom. They're trying to shut me up all kind of ways, but they won't shut me up. Now, here's your Marshall Applewhite, their leader, a former choir master, which means he has something to do with church, representing himself as a reincarnated Jesus. Yeah, that's a joke. Who was receiving guidance from the television show Star Trek. Wow. I found Scientology last night to have something to do with Star Trek. Oh, I know who he is. Okay. Although Scientology has persecuted its critics and defectors, see, I was never a critic of them. I didn't even really think of them anymore. I mean, once I found them a targeted individual, I put pieces of the puzzle together and knew that it was them, and they put on a show with the police, CIA, SWAT team, and FBI. There never was a sheriff with them. Never was there a sheriff. And they used to surround my house and play that game. And I put them with that, but then, okay, I did what I need to do on that, and I moved on. I didn't know Scientology has so much to do with everything in the fucking world. Although Scientology has persecuted its critics and defectors, they don't just prosecute those who criticize them. They prosecute them who do not want to be part of them, because I just didn't want to be part of them. I really didn't like the things only thing about Scientology that I really liked when I worked there was all the books. I mean, some people, they were okay, but it's just some things that they did, and I began to do myself, working there. Because I listen to them, and this is how you do this, and this is how you do that, and yeah. But anyway, I didn't go too far down the rabbit hole. I guess they were trying to push me down the rabbit hole, but I just wasn't going. So they decided to target me too. It has never engaged in mass murder or suicides, so you think. However, the public anxiety surrounding these sensational events added to the rancor and fear that welled up in Germany. And now this is in Germany, because Scientology also turned violent. There were elements mixed into these various groups, various United Snakes groups that resemble some features of Scientology, because they're all part of it. Magical beliefs and science fiction being the most obvious. United Snakes. Past lives were a common theme. I have past lives, but I'm nothing like them. Maybe that's why they wanted me to be there. And they used to tell me I was holding something back from them, but at the time, I really wasn't dealing with my entities at that time. My entities did not come until Scientologists sent, CPS to take my children. That's when my entities came back, and I had to begin to learn. I had to begin to learn of me, and I did. And it's odd, I was in San Diego at the time. Well, past lives were a common theme, like AUM and whoever that is. Scientology has ties to Buddhists. Yes, they do. And in the 13 or 14 families, there's one, his name is L.I. I call him Lai. Some people say it's Lee, but I call it Lai. He is an Asian. Asians have a lot to do with the mind controlled technology and biotechnology too. They have a lot to do with fucking us up in our minds and our bodies too. Scientology has ties to Buddhist nations of enlightenment and Hindu beliefs in karma and reincarnation. There's no such thing as reincarnation. When you're born, you probably remember who you are, but we're around people who don't remember who they are, so they're not going to be able to actually let you know who you are, when you're born. So if we all are incarnate, we all are, but like recycle We recycle ourselves, we come again in another body. We just don't remember our past lives, and there you go at reincarnation. Re means to remember, to repeat it over, and you remember your car and destination, So there's really, reincarnation is like you have to take steps to reach your reincarnation, to find out who you were in a past life. Once you find out who you are in a past life, then you have been reincarnated. And karma, there's no such thing as karma. No, it's not. Because if there was a such thing as karma, then Scientology would not exist. Why is it that karma does not fuck with the popes or the queer of England, or fuck with Scientology, or fuck with those who have these mind control patterns and weapons? Karma don't fuck with them. People like to tell you shit and make you believe. See, beliefs bring it to existence. A lie, make you believe that shit. There ain't no such thing as fucking karma. Structurally, AUM, this guy or whatever the fuck it is, was the most similar to Scientology. Or this must be some form of a group or something. Having both a public membership and a clustered clergy, like the Sea Org called Reunicates, who carries out directives that the larger organization knew little or nothing about. When the attacks on the subway took place, AUM's membership in Japan was estimated to be about 10,000, with an additional 30,000 in Russia and some scattered pockets worldwide with resources close to $1 billion. Figures they compare with some estimates of Scientology today. And everyone is like, it has to be the government. The government is the only one with that much money. Shit. Scientology has that much money. Scientology will house you for free. Or they can have it where you will get section needs. They will even have it where you will get a job. These things will begin to happen to you. It's like good things begin to happen to you, but look at the things you have to do to get these things. And some people don't even know they're messing up someone else's life. So that's enough of this one. Well, I couldn't find the one I had last night, but it may be in one of the videos dealing with Scientology. I put it in the description of them having their own biotech lab, but now I can't find it. But it doesn't matter. I put in Scientology and biotech. A lucky drug made pharmacies. Robert Duncan. His name is Duncan. Still Duncan, like Dunkin' Donuts. A breakthrough treatment made Robert Duncan a biotech billionaire. The headquarters of the Church of Scientology, to which he's a major. Let's see if they say if he's a major player or not. It says Robert Duncan was enjoying just your average Tampa vacation. A visit to the headquarters of the Church of Scientology, to which he's a major donor, and a double date with one of the world's top supermodels, when a broad member at pharmaceuticals, pharmacyclists, or whatever, a biotechnology company he had invested in, interrupted the party with some urgent news. The board was resigning in masses in favor of his slate of directions. Duncan, who had run a cookie company and pioneered startups in Ethernet and robotic surgery, but knew ZILCH about running a biotech firm, would take the helm. Like helm 15. And look up this word. I think that word turns out to be whores. That was in 2008. 6 years later, and probably Duncan is a millionaire. Duncan had made the investment in large part because of personal passion. Since his son had died from a brain cancer, and see, someone else's son died, they'll tell you, that their children die from this, their children die from that, but actually their children become a sacrifice. I knew more about brain tumors than the average guy walking down the street because we had to look for support in handling his condition. But the brain cancer drug Xcytrin never made it to the market. Duncan has nonetheless made pharmaceuticals work, buying shares when no one else would, finding it with $50 million of his own money and riding it all the way up. Now, you can tell you some stupid shit about his son having cancer and shit, but they sacrificed their children. This other guy, Travolta, he sacrificed his too. Here's the number 58, which let me know I was actually supposed to find this. Now, I don't really know if this is the Robert Duncan that came up with the mind control technology, and then he said it was taken away from him. I don't know if that's him or not, but they seem to have the last name. Robert Duncan. Or his name is Dugan. This is a Robert Dugan. Doesn't matter, the nigga still is a fucking robber. And he's hooked with Scientology. I don't need to read the whole story. It just lets me know the bitch is hooked with Scientology. And they had to do that cover story so the rest of the higher-ups would know what Robert Duncan is doing and that he is part Scientology. What motivates the Church of Scientology biggest donor is not only the CEO of the biotech firm Pharmaceuticals Incorporated, he's also the largest donor of Scientology. I told you because they're all a part of this shit. All of them. Biotech Salon. Okay, since it doesn't have Scientology in it, I'll pass by it. You can put in anything, you'll find Scientology, but I found somewhere that Scientology, they had their own biotech lab. They had their own. I know I put it somewhere. But anyway, I also wanted to talk about them and their fair game retaliation schemes, because they teach fair game. And a fair game, when I say fair game, they say, they're fair game. That means that anyone can fuck with you. Anyone, in any kind of a fucking way, they can fuck with you. Now here I took some notes, because I was doing something else but reading, and I didn't want to go here to try to put it there. It says, I put in to see if AT&T was involved with Scientology. This page here, the Shit Talker page, the videos, when I created it, it was to talk about AT&T. And I do put in some form of the science of harm or death, dealing with the people that I talk to. Well, those people, AT&T. But see, AT&T doesn't target all the customers. They target all the customers, but they wouldn't have any money. But they will target some. And I was a really good customer at AT&T here in California. But when they came back, they decided they wanted to help Scientology out, I guess. They helped Scientology out here. It says update. AT&T reportedly blocks wildly popular and deeply offensive website by Laura Northrup. I swear their names. This was done in 2009. An update. AT&T has a statement. They said the temporary block was to stop DDoS attack from IP addresses associated with img.4chan.org. After the threat was over, they left the block. So they went and threatened them, and then they say they left it. just left it behind. Someone comes and threaten you and then they leave. You think they left. You don't see them anymore, but they were sin and minions. You may find 4chan weird, chaotic, or offensive, but you can't deny that the internet wouldn't be the same without it. There would be no Cat Marcos. There would be no Rick rolling. There would be no anonymous protest against the Church of Scientology. Did I mention the Cat Marcos? AT&T has decided to discover what a world without 4 channels would be like. They reportedly blocked it. See? So AT&T is helping to block your internet also. And that's why a lot of videos are not being seen, because I watched some videos and man, these videos are like, wow, it's things that targets need to know, assets need to know, but somehow the assets are not gravitating toward that particular video with information that all assets need. And then I thought, I don't want to get into that one right now. So AT&T has decided to discover what a world without these people would mean, and they blocked it, specifically the forums. And it says, we won't be linking to these sources. Editor's note. We won't be linking to these sources. If you want to be offended, you know where to find them. And then it says TechCrunch had the story early on. And then 4 channels has been called many things, most of which aren't particularly flattering. Some parts of the site are entirely unmoderated, leading to a Wild West, highly NSFU environment where irreverence, mischief, and lawlessness thrive. I like to think of it as the MOSEISLEY of the web. But that doesn't mean that site isn't extremely influential on web culture. Many of its exploits are famous, including taking over the Time 100 list. I don't know what that is. And it's also where some of the internet's most famous memes got to start, including the Rick Roll and LOL cats. It's also known as the main hub for Anonymous, a group that has held a very public campaign against Scientology. In other words, AT&T has just opened perhaps the most vindictive, messy can of worms it could have possibly found. Blocking any site is an extreme breach of user trust. So they're blocking our sites, and they don't give a damn, because they do what they want to do. But the decision to block 4chan in particular just seems stupid. Expect the web equivalent of rioting if this doesn't change soon. So how about that net neutrality? AT&T reportedly blocks 4chan. This is going to get ugly. And report AT&T blocking 4chan. See? So AT&T plays along with Scientology. Yeah, AT&T, it holds hands with Scientology, and it's just so awesome. This page that the Shit Talker is on, I talked to my son about it, and then the next morning I woke up, he made the page for me, because Shit Talker is really not supposed to be spelled the way that it's spelled, but I left it that way because my son did it. I didn't ask him to, and he made the page for me, and I just began to put the things on it from Scientology. From AT&T. I also allowed them to know that they also were being recorded. But like I say, those are the first videos on here. I want to put 1,000 videos on this page, and then I guess I'm done. You can only give out so much information. And I like I say, I'm not intelligent. I'm not wise enough to I'm wise, but I'm not intelligent enough to know how to get past the things that Scientology does. I just know how to be an out-intelligent to put out and tell on the agents and when I find out about them. This video here is about different types of assets, and I'll probably go back and forth from Scientology to different type of assets, because we are Scientology's assets. They play a game with us, the Pope and Scientology. Well, Catholic and Scientology, they both play a game with us. In the middle of all that, all these other religions, you still have to answer to the Pope in order to exist. Now I put in Scientology and Pope, right? And I get this. So if this is who they're talking about, that's a Jew boy, So he's Esau. Wow, Esau really likes to play a game. I'm going to play a game with his name, since he likes to play a game in people's minds. They're talking about Pope Benedict. He stepped down, I'm going to start here, but there will be endless speculation about how much his decision was influenced by the Catholic Church's ongoing controversy over pedophile priests. See, I told you, they had too much pedophilia going on. It was outward, so they had to come up with something else, and they did the Church of Scientology. And this nigga name is Rat. See, his name is Rat Singers. Rat involvement in the past to sweep away that growing scandal. So the Pope, they call him Benedict, which means Benedict in your son's ass, because B-N in Hebrew means son. You have to understand they use a bastard language. So they borrow words, they take words out on loan, and then they re-borrow words. I guess this is a word they didn't give back, Benedict, to Benedict in your son's ass, and here you go with a controversy over pedophile priests. And the nigga name is Rat. I forget his first name too. Oh, he's Joseph Rat. A religious leader stepping down as his church is mired in scandal. Well, we can't help thinking of another church that finds itself gripped by several crises, and for which its members, past and present, have vocally blamed its leader for helping to create. Then I'm going to come back with this. He's a beta bitch. That's why his name is M-I-S. A beta bitch. That's a beta bitch. When you see him, don't call him by his name. He's a caveman. Beta bitch. And I'm going to have fun with his name. They like targeting me, so I'm just going to play around with the beta bitch's name. Shit talk a lot, heroes.